So let's now move on to the pre-operational stage of cognitive development. This stage starts when the baby is 2 years old and goes on to when he is 7 years old. So in this stage there is an increase in mental representation. This mental representation means the ability to think and solve their simple problems. This actually started in the earlier stage, but in this stage it is more prevalent and strengthened. Let's see the major developments in this stage. So internal images. So when the babies engage in sensory motor activities, they gain experiences. These experiences they store in the form of internal images. These internal images are within themselves, and they want to tell it to the world. They want to tell it to their parents maybe. So as during this stage they pick up on language from school, from home and all. So they are able to convey this to others through language, with words. Then symbolic play. The children recreate daily experiences through plays. This is actually called make-believe play. This was actually started in the sensory motor stage, but then this continues. They have more flexibility in imagining objects and events at this point because their imagination also has improved. This make-believe play gradually makes way for symbolic play. Symbolic play means they pretend that one object is another. They pretend that a pen is a spoon. This also has many stages, the symbolic play. In the first stage is called decentration. Here their plays are more self-absorbed. They start to pretend to feed themselves, bathe themselves and all. Then it slowly becomes less self-centered and focuses on other things, external things. The actions are directed at others. So they start feeding a doll, taking care of a doll, dressing the doll and all. Then in the second stage is called decontextualization. They pretend that a pen is the spoon, a banana is the phone and all. Then stage 3. In this stage their plays are more complex and intricate, and socio-dynamic aspects are also involved. As during the stage the child picks up on social norms and all, the culture, so that is involved in their plays. This is called integration. Then drawings. The child's cognitive development and cultural influences are expressed through their drawings. Their drawings initially start as scribbles, then move on to shapes, then to more realistic drawings. Egocentrism. Egocentrism is the child's perspective to ignore other people's ideas and feelings. They only focus on their viewpoint, and then even when they don't even understand that they are wrong, even when it's pointed out to them, if other people say that they must modify their behavior, they are incapable to do so because they don't really understand. Then animalistic thinking. This egocentrism leads to animalistic thinking. They believe that inanimate objects have human-like qualities like feelings, thoughts, emotions, motivations and all. So yeah, like this is a very interesting example. The child may say that the cloud is crying because the sun scolded it, referring to the rain. Though this is factually wrong, this enhances their ability to imagine things and magical thinking. Centration. So here in this stage the child is unable to conserve. Conserve means that to understand that the physical characteristic of an object remains unchanged even when its outward appearance changes. So in an example, let's say we pour water from a tall glass to a shorter one. The child may look at it and say that the amount of water has increased even when it hasn't. So the child is unable to think why. They only focus on the fact that it seems like there is more water in the short glass. they forget that the no extra water has been added, and so yeah, they are unable, they only focus on one aspect and neglect the other aspects. This is called centration. Then irreversibility. So in that example, in the water example, they are unable to go back and see that they are unable to retrace those steps back in reverse direction. They are unable to see that even if we pour the water back from the short glass to the tall glass, the water level goes back to normal. It's still the same. They are unable to do that. Then hierarchical classification. In this stage, the child cannot really identify and classify things into different groups and categories based on similarities and differences. Now we move on to the concrete operational stage. This stage lasts from 7 years to 11 years. So major advancements happen in cognitive development during this time. So this is a very important stage. Here the child's thinking becomes more logical and flexible and organized. The major developments of this stage are decentration. So in the previous stage we observed that centration occurs. Here they become they understand how things really work. They are able to conserve here. They understand that the physical characteristic of an object remains unchanged even when its outward appearance changes. So the child is able to understand that when water is poured from a tall glass to a short glass, the water level remains same. So this is called decentration. Reversibility. We've seen irreversibility in the previous stage. Now we have reversibility. The child is they are able to they are able to understand that the water level remains same because they are mentally able to go back and realize that when the water from a short glass is poured back into the tall glass, the water level remains same. So the judgments about cause and effect improve considerably. Hierarchical classification. So here the child can categorize objects, classify objects into different groups, general or specific groups. Class inclusion. So here they are able to understand the relationship between a group and its subgroups. So let's take the example of fruits. So there are many types of fruits. Let's focus on mango. Fruits are a group, and different types of mangoes are the subgroups. So they are able to classify things like that. So this is called class inclusion. Then seriation. So here the child is able to arrange objects in quantitative dimension. So when they are given like a set of sticks, they are able to arrange it from shortest to longest. They have an ability to it's called transitive inference. So here they are able to without doing anything specifically, they mentally are able to visualize and understand that one stick is taller than the other, another stick is shorter than the other. They know that. Then spatial understanding. So here they have a more accurate spatial understanding. They understand concept of space in terms of direction and distance. As they go to school and they develop this understanding. So by 8 years, the children are able to perform mental rotation. They can align their own frame of reference to match that of another person. So let's say two people are standing opposite to each other. One is a child, another is a different person. So the child is able to say which is the right of the other person and which is the left of the other person, even though they are standing oppositely. Okay, then they also learn to mentally represent large scale spaces. Like in middle school, they are asked to draw maps and all. They are able to, understand that even though the map is not the same as space orientation, they understand the relationship between the two. So this process is called cognitive map. So that's it for childhood. These are all the processes that occur in cognitively during childhood. The formal operational stage would be in during adolescence.